So how do you mind map in AOA? The good thing is it's really nice and simple, and you can build your knowledge and your experience as you go. But to start with, it's really nice and simple. So when you first log in, you will come in to this here and you'll click on New. Then what I recommend is you start with the speed map. So in my experience, building the mind map in Speedmap is the way to go. Really quick, easy to build, intuitive, and then you can sort of format it and publish it in the organic view because it just looks a bit nicer. But let's start with Speedmap. So then it will give you this options in terms of what do you want that central idea to look like. So what box shape do you want it to look like? So we'll just go with that one. Create the central idea. Now the big thing with mind maps is lots of colour and lots of images, because that's the way your brain works. It makes connections, it makes things memorable, it differentiates, and it's really, really powerful. So really do use it. So you do want an image for the first central idea for sure. So we're going to go in here, we'll click on Style, and we'll go to Image and Add. So first of all, we'll come in here and we'll go to a free image site, royalty-free site, click on Search, and let's type in idea, we'll go with that one, and it's in there. So we'll double click on that title and say, how to mind map, and we're done. And then I'll change the colour of that to make it, by double clicking on the words, select red. I can change the size of the thing, of the font, I can change the bold of it. So how to mind map, we're started, we're off and running. You can zoom in and out by using the scroll on your mouse, that's the easiest, and click and hold and drag to move around the mind map, because this is going to get big, because you're going to get creative and come up with lots of ideas. So then we'll start off by putting your mouse over the first central idea and then clicking the plus box. So you're forming your first core branch. This is one of the foundations of your mind map. So let's start with how. And then by clicking enter, I've created that branch. By clicking enter again, I can start another branch. So we might say why. So we've started 2, and then just to make it a bit more equal, let's have another one over here, which is how, why, where. If I can spell, click again, when. You can see how quickly you can build these up. Careful on the dyslexia. Okay, so now we're off and running. And the other thing to mention is this is online, so this is a cloud-based system. So you can invite 15 colleagues as a team to all be working on this at the same time, simultaneously. So whilst you're updating and creating new branches on where, you've got colleagues in your team updating branches on how. Now a fundamental for this is always try and keep to one word on each branch. Lots of reasons for this, but the big one is it enables you to be creative. So if you put a big long sentence in there, it's like you're limited as to where your creativity can go with that. So to give an example, if I put my name Anthony Lawton in there as one of the branches, it's instantly limiting because it's just about me there. But if I put Lawton in there first, then you could have branches coming off that, which might be my brother, my sister, my parents, the origins of Lawton, and it gets much more creative. You'll get into this, but please just try and from the start resist the big long sentences and phrases. It's counterintuitive because we're so used to big long Word documents, 30 pages of Word document that we never remember. So this is a new way of work, a new way of thinking, but it really, trust in me, this is the way to do it. Some of these words, maximum I'd go to 2 words, but some of them you might say, okay, I really understand that one word and it means a lot to me, and you might add a picture in this box to make it even clearer. But what you can also do to make it easier for other people to get into this and to understand is click on the I button, and then you can add some notes. So you could do 30 pages of notes in here. That's how detailed you could get if you wanted to. So you've got all the background as to what that means and why it's there. So don't be afraid of just putting one word in here, because you've got all the scope you need for everybody to see exactly what that means, and all the notes and actions associated with it are in here as well. So that's the notes. This prints off when you download things and PDF it later on, which is a big part of the tool as well. So anything that you really want to capture and you want to export, click in Notes. Comments is another really useful tool. So you could say between the team of, if there's 15 of you working in here, this is a comment related to that, so that the other team members know exactly what it is and the agenda behind it, etc. What you can also do is attach files and documents. If you're going to create links and things, I'll put the links in the notes and the comments, and then you can upload documents in here. You do need to actually have a license to upload files, but you can do pretty much most things without having to buy a license. In terms of creating your mind map, having your notes, having your comments, inviting people in, that's all completely free. So we could go very, very, very long and deep with these branches. So ideas can be sparking off left, right and centre, and we can get into lots of detail. So what happens is you've done this, and quite quickly your brain will be really creative and you'll generate a brilliant map with lots of information, lots of options for you to explore. This particular branch, you might say, I would really like Bob to look into this for me. So you click on tasks for this particular branch, this particular idea, and you'd say action 1. You'd enter, and then you'd click on it and you'd allocate that to one of your teammates. So at the moment it's me, but actually I might want to allocate it to one of my colleagues instead. And then we'll go through a whole other video on how we manage tasks and things, but it's really, really effective and efficient way to manage things. And because it's all linked back to your mind map, it's incredibly powerful. So you've got the creativity in the mind map of what do we do, why do we do it, all the different options, pros and cons, lots of creativity. You'll remember things a lot better through the use of images and colours. The real beauty of the mind map is how you can zoom in and zoom out. So you'll end up going down a thread and you'll come up with lots of things, lots of ideas, lots of things to do. And the danger of normal project management is you get stuck in here and you lose track of how that relates to the big picture. But having this system and this tool, which is so easy to use, enables you to constantly think back about how does that relate to that. And actually you can forge those relationships to keep that front of mind. So you could say this one here is actually linked to that. So you click on that, press Control, click on that whilst you're still holding Control, and this will pop up, and then you can form the connection. So it is amazing, this tool. Once you start to use it, if you're like me, a complete left-brain focused person, and you start to actually use this in practice, it transforms your life because you start making much better decisions. You can see what your assets are, what your skills are, what you should be doing. You can mind map and create what you possibly could do, and then you can come up with the best solutions in terms of going forwards. And then you can action those in the task management part of the tool as well, which we'll come on to in the next video.